Robelis Despain is the biggest bust of the year. My guy, hands down out there, he's got a powerful jab, but holy shit. What is worse? Where's Waldo's ground and pound or Robelis Despain's jiu-jitsu? Because that's a tough competition. Where's Waldo's ground and pound? He was sitting on him like he's sitting on a stoop. His foot was flat on the ground. You can't just sit on somebody in heavyweight MMA unless, of course, it's Robelis Despain. The ground and pound was awful. Somebody tell him to throw some elbows. Waldo, drop some elbows on him and you'll get the referee to stop the fight. You don't have to eat those final jabs in the second and third round, okay? Because Robelis Despain, tired as he was, is still dangerous. But you get him tired, he moves like Chewbacca. I mean, it is just very easy to take him down for a heavyweight. And this is a boxer. Where's Waldo's a boxer? And he's out there hitting these double leg takedowns like cake. So let's talk jiu-jitsu now. Despain's jiu-jitsu was the worst I've seen in the UFC this year. The worst I've seen this year. I mean, it does not get much worse than that. That was horrific. And I said there were some red flags. Holy shit. Were the red flags pointing to something? So very green, Robelis Despain. We've learned he is truly a one-round fighter. He's a half-round fighter. He needs to learn how to pace himself. He needs to put everything together. And Lord knows he needs some takedown defense. And you could say that about the co-main event, right? Buckley was able to hit some really nice takedowns against Ruziboev. Ruziboev, I'll pull up the quote here from the brilliant commentator. Better defense from Ruziboev this time, says Brendan Fitzgerald. Ruziboev immediately gets slammed on his back. He goes, well, Buckley still gets the takedown. If you look at what he was doing, he didn't even know what to do with his hands. It was like Buckley had a body lock on him. He couldn't decide if he wanted to go for a guillotine or grab an overhook. Dude, grab the overhooks, jack them up, turn your hips, pummel an underhook under, jack that up, clamp down on your loser, bring your winner up, and get off that fence. He was not reacting very well. And you guys saw Buckley missing huge shots. Buckley would throw a left hook and be completely over here and no counter shot. Ruziboev, I at least expected you to pull the trigger on that. So, I mean, this last card was a night where Chase Hooper dropped Slava Claus. Dropped him with a punch. So there was some crazy shit going on, folks. Here's some shit I am happy about. I gave you my most confident lock as Carlos Ulberg. And come on, man. Alonzo Menefield just went out there like he was shot out of a cannon, throwing crazy shots. And Carlos Ulberg put him away. Carlos Ulberg is North top 10. He is very good. And I think people will continue to see that. So shout out to Carlos Ulberg. The one that I actually did touch myself worked out. So some crazy betting going on last week. I hope you guys had some fun. I certainly did. Finch is the dog goat. Thank you, Crusader. First, Anakin Skywalker, of course, you're first. Episode 1 of Star Wars, the origin story of Anakin. Finch the God. Don't give me that much credit. I am an atheist, but I do appreciate that. Despain has no grappling. He needs the jiu-jitsu coach. Brother, he needs Jesus. And I just told you what I think about all that. Ruziboev put up a good fight. He needs to stay at middleweight. He needs to get his takedown defense on point. I was surprised on how bad his takedown defense was. Now, for sure, Buckley's better than ever. Like the way Buckley fought that fight, he showed patience and then he would go high RPMs. He would lay on the gas pedal, kind of Yoel Romero style, where Yoel just makes sure nothing happens. And then all of a sudden he blitzes. And Buckley made that work for him all night. He would stay in long range and then explode in, right? And so it's very hard to fight a guy who's doing that. High risk, high reward, though. Really, really nice job. Derek Lewis gets the knockout. We expected it. great Derek Lewis finish. He takes his pants off, throws his cup at some poor media member, moon the crowd. I mean, sorry if you were there live, St. Louis. Jesus. Brilliant comeback by Diego Ferreira after getting walked down in that first round. 39-year-old Diego Ferreira makes it happen. Sean Woodson did what we thought he would do. Close fight, but got it done. Overall, just a fun card. A lot of crazy fights. And, I am entertained. We'll definitely say that, I think the people who came out of that big are definitely like Chase Hooper. Buckley put himself in a good shot. Buckley's calling out Conor McGregor. Calm down. Buckley. You're not getting the Conor McGregor fight. Does any other person besides Joaquin Buckley think he's going to get the Conor McGregor fight? I don't think so. We need a Waldo Costa versus Lewis next. Not opposed. I missed a bunch of you guys. Arguably, Bucky got the finish. Imagine if he got the swap for 5 rounds. Who do you think is next for Olberg, Bogdan, or Smith? Carlos Olberg? I don't know, man. Let's look up these rankings because he's not in the top 10 and he needs to be. Let me look. Carlos Olberg. I mean, yeah, should be getting some big fights. I don't even know. I'm not, I'm not the best matchmaker, but Carlos Olberg at 205 should walk right in and be fighting like a Jan, or give him Jamal Hill. Isn't Jamal Hill got to fight? Jamal Hill's fighting a kickboxer, right? Khalil Roundtree. That's right. So they're booked. So yeah, let's give him Bogdan maybe. That would be cool. Be down for that. Carlos Olberg versus Bogdan. Go ahead. He deserves it, after that performance. I like it. It's a lot of cool fights for him. I think Carlos Olberg's the truth, man. Olberg versus Smith, you guys want? Go for it. I'm just jumping around in these comments here. His corner was awful. I speak Spanish, and Robles had a Cuban lady who was screaming to Waldo, the only way you can beat him is taking him down. And Waldo took the advice. The corner was so amateur. It worked out. I like the takedowns for Waldo. I would have told him to take him down too. Why not? My problem is finish the fight. Chael Sonnen took Anderson Silva down in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, and then gets triangle armbarred. Right? He got triangled in the fifth round. So when you're on top of the guy and you're in full mount, here's an idea. Finish the fight. Get the referee to stop the fight. And Waldo didn't even try to do that. So I think that is not good. What's good, Big Play Nate? Appreciate all you guys coming out. Thank you for hanging out. You guys want to talk some fist fights coming up here. Enough about the past. Derek Lewis looked good. Nice performance by Buckley. Robles de Spain is the worst jiu-jitsu in MMA history, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about UFC Fight Night, Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy, and there are better fights than that on this card. I mean, Yanez is on it. We've got, a lot of cool ones, man. Themba Gorimbo is going to defend his house. The Rock said his house is up for grabs on this one. All jokes. Adrian Yanez and Vinicius Salvador is cool. Chaos Williams, Carlston Harris, dope. We got a couple cool ones. Abus Magomedov's back. So let's go through it. I've got 5 locks as usual. Really, I got more than that for this one. For UFC Fight Night, Barboza versus Murphy. And Barboza's not one of them, but I do think a 38-year-old Edson Barboza can outstrike Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy's going to need takedowns. Maybe he gets them. But I think Edson Barboza can defend and land some good shots. He's going to run the risk, make Lerone Murphy run the risk of getting kneed in the face. And Edson Barboza's head kicks are nice. I mean, there's some reason to think Edson could finish this fight. But, he's 38, so maybe we'll be a little cautious. My number 1 lock for UFC Fight Night is absolutely Abus Magomedov. Abus Magomedov is getting Warlley Alves, who he should dunk on. Abus Magomedov is a lot better than Warlley Alves. I think this is a great matchup for him. He probably wins by knockout. I know the odds are wide, so you might have to touch KO or a prop. So I would say consider a parlay, but that's a big lock, man. Minus 300 or whatever you find it at. Abus Magomedov, I do believe, is worth a touch on this card. Tom Nolan too. Tom Nolan's a lock against Martinez. Martinez has been out, and Tom Nolan, should be able to bounce back after that knockout loss he suffered. But it's a step down in competition, and minus 400 is the only reason why you might consider not touching it. But I'll go Tom Nolan all day, man. I do think Tom Nolan should be able to dominate Victor Martinez and, get knocked out by Nicholas Moda. I think Nicholas Moda is a little underrated, especially his power is solid. Tom Nolan bounces back here nicely. So 2 bounce backs there. You ready for a third? It's a UFC fight night. So, you got a lot of people coming off of L's. Adrian Yanez over Vinicius Salvador. Now, I was not completely on the Adrian Yanez train against Vinicius Salvador because unlike other betting experts, I do have some faith in Vinicius Salvador. I like the counter striking, the way he'll make you miss and come back, but he's moving up in weight. I think Adrian Yanez should be able to bully him here. Vinicius Salvador was having trouble making weight. I believe that Adrian Yanez is going to be able to put it on him here. Is it a knockout? Is the decision? I don't know. Again, this seems like a parlay type of card to me. Themba Gorimbo. Now, here's one you could straight money line because it's only minus 150 last I checked. Themba Gorimbo should be able to hit some takedowns and, get a dub here. I know Ramiz Brahimaj is a submission guy and could potentially strike with Themba a little bit, but it's going to be hard to submit him inside those 15 minutes. You're getting taken down and beaten up by Court McGee. Not good. Not the look you want. And, Themba Gorimbo should be good enough at wrestling, and his submission defense should be good enough to hold off a Brahimaj. So an inactive Brahimaj, give me the active Themba Gorimbo decision. And then, some people are going to disagree with this last one. I know a lot of people like Harris, but give me Khaos Williams by knockout, man. I didn't know he was like a real estate agent. What has he been up to? I don't know. He hasn't been that active. So, if maybe you like to slide Edson in here, I don't know. But my 5th lock is going to be Khaos Williams. I do think he gets the knockout. I do think he defends these takedowns. He's going to need to. Because if Carlston Harris is getting to the top position and he's getting some blood, some lactic acid built up in those shoulders, that will be a big deal. And that will allow him to start to take over the fight. So one more time for the people in the back. Abus Magomedov, Tom Nolan, Adrian Yanez, Themba Gorimbo, and then finally, give me Khaos Williams in a nice knockout. There are some interesting ones on this card, though. I think the hard bets are these women's fights and a lot of sizable underdogs where it's like, maybe you do touch some of these female underdogs. I don't know. Women's MMA, betting on it gives me a headache. So, I like watching the women's fights. I think that, Demopoulos and Ducote and, all these fights, all these women's fights will be close, competitive, good fights, tough to bet on. So maybe if you run up some of those dogs, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Gorimbo for the family. Good luck, Experto DMMA. If Walker loses to Vulcan, for sure, him versus Olberg. I think Olberg could step right. I would take Olberg all day against Walker. I think he's City Kickboxing's next guy, man. I think Carlos Olberg's on the way up. What's up, Big Play Nate? Finch, these are my picks. Barboza, Williams, Themba, Yanez, Abus, and Sy. Sy is another one. Sy's another one to lock. Sy's a beast. He's been on a roll. He's got a lot of power in his hands. I do see him getting a finish here. So, they need him. And, I can see him knocking out Trócoli. I do. Antonio Trócoli, coming up from 170? What was he before? And hasn't fought since 2021. Yeah, man. Give me Oumar Sy all day. Lock that one too. Fuck it. That's my 6th lock. I'll pick Barboza. His age doesn't count as much as normal people because he's healthy as fuck. Yeah, I mean, age is a number. Biological age is a different number. If you're like Dr. David Sinclair, he's probably still in his 20s, even though he's 50. Look him up if you want to live forever. I do. Um, I think Edson Barboza looks good, man. At 38 years old, he's beaten Sadiq Youssef. I picked him. I picked him against Billy Quarantillo. He knocks Billy Quarantillo out. Called that one. It's like I like Edson Barboza in these fights. Last time I bet against Edson was against Shane Burgos. When he knocked out Shane Burgos like that, I'm like, oh shit, never mind. So I've been pro Edson Barboza, and it's worked out for me more than not. I'll pick him again against Lerone Murphy. It's Lerone Murphy's first main event. That's always hard to step up in your first main event when you haven't fought anybody yet. Edson Barboza is a big name, and he's a tough guy to welcome you up. And so I believe in Edson Barboza in this one, man. He's beaten up some kids too. He's done it a few times now. And, when I see him age, that's when I'll change my mind. Coming off of a Sadiq Youssef win, nah, dude, I'm picking him. I can't pick Nolan at minus 400. I'll probably take the over 1.5 for that fight, thinking both guys will be hesitant after knockout losses. Does that one go over? I don't know. Good luck, Larry. That's all I could say about that one. Anakin Skywalker. Let's see which chaos we will see show up. His last fights have been underwhelming. True. Yeah. Chaos Williams needs to bring some chaos. He needs to let his hands go. If he gets on his back a couple times here, this could start going the wrong way quickly. So, maybe I'm starting to think the more I talk, I should sub in Sy for Chaos Williams. But the odds are nice for the Chaos Williams fight, man. Even odds. I think that there's a big chance here Chaos gets a knockout. Holly is a good underdog. Don't forget Kai Kara, mate. Kai Kara France? Kai Kara France ain't on this fucking card. What Kai Kara are you talking about, Doug? Kai Kara France is not on this card. City Kickboxing. I see what you're saying. City Kickboxing also has a few gems still yet to make the UFC. Yeah. I'm a City Kickboxing fan. I don't hate. Chaos sucks so bad. He got a gift decision against Bedoya. All right. Fuck it. Throw a side in there then. I think that, again, the odds are nice, being even odds, but dude, take some of these and parlay them up, I think Sy in there, some of these girl underdogs are definitely going to win. Abus Magomedov at minus 300 is such a lock. So yeah, double up some of these fat, if you put like Abus, Tom Nolan, and Adrian Yanez together, you got plus money, so for all my degenerate bettors out there, that's what I'm thinking. Been watching tape on Chaos and Harris, and have to say Harris can't win this on the feet. And we've seen Wells mauling Harris on the floor until round 3 when he gassed. I think Chaos is a lock. I locked them. UFC 302 almost here. Anakin, you can't wait, can you? What is 302? Is that the McGregor card? UFC 302. Is that that's Makhachev and Poirier? Let's go. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for this McGregor card too. So what is that one? Let's see here. UFC 302, Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier. Dope. Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa. Dope. Kevin Holland, Michael Oleksiejczyk, pretty good. Jailton Almeida, Alexander Romanov, Randy Brown. I mean, it's a good card. When is the McGregor fight? UFC 303? Yup. June 29th, UFC 303, McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Gotta say, looking forward to having Conor back, man. Got to meet him last year at BKFC. Cool that he ended up buying a slice of BKFC. It's going to be cool to have Conor McGregor back. 303 is what I'm looking forward to. Did the Oumar Sy fight get canceled? I hope not. You got news for me, Daniel? Navajo Sterling and Aaron Tao are 2 potential champs yet to debut. Looking forward to it, man. We need him. We're gonna get a good light heavyweight here in Sy to check out, and then and then hopefully Despain learns how to grapple. That would be really good. And then he would be able to be a nice heavyweight division ad, because light heavyweight and heavyweight need some talent. And so, Sy, we're hoping you look good. That would be awesome, right? How cool would it be to get some new blood in these heavier divisions? We need it, John Jones talking about a potential matchup between him and the champ, not Stipe Miocic. No, you know who I'm talking about. Tommy fucking Aspinall. That's cool. We need more Tom Aspinalls in this world. We need a bounce back from Yanez. Always fun to watch him fight. Yeah, I mean, he apparently had like a fucking Pepsi deal and Reese's deal lined up. Like, let's see Yanez bounce back. I would like to see that. Yanez is exciting. We saw him get jabbed up by Rob Font, and what was the last one he lost? Somebody help me out. Yanez just lost that last one to Jonathan Martinez, of course. And Jonathan Martinez goes in the co-main event of a pay-per-view in his last fight. So, yeah, I think Yanez can bounce right back. My guy, AJ DeVito, shout out to him, MMA Experts, I just got done with. He goes, on his other show, he goes, he has to win this one or it's over for him. I don't think so. I think Yanez is going to be around, and we're going to see a lot from him. But yeah, he bounces back here. It only makes sense. Vinicius Salvador, I'm not shitting on him like everybody else. Other people are saying this guy can't fight. Dude, he's fast. His counterpunching is really nice. I like his striking. So, don't let these other cappers give you cap. Watch Vinicius Salvador. He's good. He's moving up in weight, and at this level, Yanez should be able to win. Despain is too old to learn how to wrestle effectively. UFC pushed him too fast. I don't know about that show, Joe. I feel like Despain could still learn, but he needs to start wrestling. He needs to go to like local colleges. Like, really, it was bad. His decision making was not there. Every level was just wrong. Him on his back, I had to look away. It was so bad, and I've been training jiu-jitsu since I was 10 years old. Maybe I'm a tough critic. I submitted 4 out of my 5 opponents. It's kind of how I do it. Yeah, that was pretty bad. You saw the announcements for Van versus Tagir and Taira versus Perez? I did not. I got to check that out. Despade had UFC 1 takedown defense. You don't want to show up in 2024 with the takedown defense of fill in the blank, from UFC 1. That's not good. We don't want this. Despain and Gaziev, who were supposed to be the next heavyweights, failed. Yeah. So we need some more talented heavyweight folks. If you're a heavyweight out there and you're athletic, jump in. I stopped fighting partially because I'm going to be a 155 pounder. It's the hardest thing you could possibly do. Trying to be the 155 pound champ of the UFC. You're in for broken noses and trials and tribulations, and fighting is just so difficult, but if you're a girl, if you're a heavyweight, the door's wide open. I always equate it to this. Like, if you're the Rhode Island state champion of high school wrestling, you ain't got shit on the state champ of California, because the California guy is the best of, many millions, as to where the Rhode Island guy is, the best of a fraction of that. So if you're the best 155 pounder in the UFC, you are way better than the best heavyweight and light heavyweight. Does that make sense? That's the way I'm thinking about it. All right. Well, get your cheeseburger there, Nora. Listen, folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll run through it really quickly just for the people in the back. All right. Emily Decote versus Vanessa Demopoulos is going to be close. That's a crazy fight. Alatengheili versus Rodrigues, a good one. I picked Alatengheili, but man, Rodrigues could pull it through. I don't know. Rodrigues and Carnelossi, so close. These women's fights are so close. The odds are wide on some of these. Maybe touch some of these underdogs. We got to go Abus Magomedov. Lock Abus Magomedov. Tamires, Vidal, Melissa Gatto, close one. I'm rooting for Melissa Gatto, honestly. Oumar Sy, lock Sy. Lock him. Lock him. Tom Nolan, lock him. Angela Hill versus Luana Pinheiro. Good luck. I guess 39-year-old Angela Hill will get it done, but you hear what I'm saying? Good luck. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Themba Gorimbo. I think Themba Gorimbo can get it done. Fuck it. Themba Gorimbo will lock him too. Khaos Williams versus Carlston Harris. We're going to go with Khaos Williams. And Edson Barboza, I'm taking over Lerone Murphy. Some confident picks there for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. And, if some of these are wide, consider parlaying them up and then look at some of these underdogs. I think about half of my picks on this card, were underdogs, especially in the girl fights. So take a look at them. Take your time. Bet responsibly. Have some freaking fun this weekend. Next week, I'm going to try to come on with a guest. I'm going to try to come on with some fun shit. If it ain't a guest on this show, it'll definitely be on MMA Experts. So I'll see you guys on both channels. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's always peace and love over here. I hope you all are well and enjoy the fist fights. Peace out, everybody.